connecté sur 3.
Ben là, j'ai cliqué déjà. 3. Welcome to While You Wait the podcast. While you wait for your electric vehicle to charge, or while you wait for life to change, or for your vacation, I don't know what you do for a living, well, you can listen to me while I'm in the car. I'm Piper from Piper Unplugged, and this is the Piper Unplugged channel's very own podcast. Right now, we are in Forks, Washington. Yes, it is Twilight Town, but if you want to see that, hear that, know that, go check out the last podcast we did all about Twilight. Now, this one is going to be a little bit different because right now we are getting out of Forks. Yes, so we're not staying in Forks anymore. We've been here, done what we had to do, and now we're heading down. So, geographically, how this all works is that you can go to Forks from the top, that'd be the north, or you can come at it from the south. Since we did the top, so Squim, Port Angeles, and then Forks, and then we didn't make it to La Pouche, but we could have gone there because we're heading back down. To go to La Pouche, it takes like a while. You have to drive. Do I have sound? Do I have sound? I have sound. I have sound. Cool. So we are heading down to get down from Forks to let's say Seattle. It's a bit of a C, a big or U. It's kind of a U. It's more of a U. We're gonna pass by Aberdeen. And some of you grunge rock fans might know about Aberdeen because I read somewhere that it's where Kurt Cobain actually was born in 1967. If I'm not mistaken. So all of you rock and roll fans or grunge fans, I mean, does it count as rock and roll?
No.
What do you count as? Like, is grunge?
Grunge.
Is it grunge rock? I mean, it wasn't the same time as Motley Crue and all these other guys, right? So.
No, Motley Crue and all the guys was before the grunge.
A little bit before. Yeah, before the spandex metal and all that. So then you got Kurt Cobain and, well, of course, Nirvana. And, okay, internet feed is perfect. Thank you, aka Fumbler. That's great to hear and to know. So we are going from Forks to Aberdeen, and then we're gonna head probably up north again to Seattle, and we'll see what happens there. But what I wanted to talk about is that it's quite interesting that we are right now in the Olympic Peninsula, in Washington, and some of the forest here, so some of the national parks and forest here are one of the quietest in the whole entire country. Yeah, in the whole of the United States of America, especially Hoh Rainforest. Every kind of forest is a rainforest in this area. It rains a lot, like I think it was 10 feet of rain per year. That's a lot of rain. And there are a few little towns and I guess you could say cities on the peninsula, but most of it is for recreation. So you come here to do camping. We saw a lot of RVs, a lot of van life, or just van camping, we can call it like that. Then also a lot of hikers, people that are doing like Rambo. They have their bag and everything in it, I'm guessing, and they just go and walk and sleep and all of that stuff because, well, there's a lot of provincial parks and there's just a lot of wood here, not a lot of people, more wood than people. So that's what happens in this area. And, well, we actually went and did a little hike. You could call it a little hike. Oh yeah, we have to wait 2 minutes. That's nice. There's a lot of construction right now on this road. But when you are on this road, we are on the Highway 101. What is great is that actually there's all these little other roads that you can take. Some of them go to the ocean and other ones go towards the forest. And you just go there and it gets calmer. You get further from the actual, road, right? And filming this episode that I've been filming for the past 2 days, realize how sound really affects us. So that's getting back to the sound thing of this podcast, because we're talking about sound right here, right now. This is one of the quietest places in the United States of America, like right here in Hoh National Forest. And right like a few hours, 2 hours and 2 minutes in Aberdeen. Yeah. Well, you got one of the guys who was born there and who did like some of the loudest, coolest music, right? So we're going to talk about that, like the reverse or the controversy or whatever about the difference between no sound and then sound, like rock music or grunge music or any type of really loud music. But I guess you could definitely count, like, classical music can be loud too. It's just not the same type of party. Yeah. So if you're here, make sure that you leave a comment in the live chat. Yeah. What's your favorite band? Let's start with that. What's your very most favorite band?
What's a loud band for you?
Oh, what's a loud band? Yeah. The loudest band for you. Okay. What would be yours? Your loudest band, you think? I mean, loud is turn it to 11, right?
Slayer.
Slayer is loud. Slayer is loud. That's loud. I mean, yeah, I don't know, like, back in the day, I feel that when you heard music, now we have headphones and we have noise cancelling and we also have all of this stuff with EQing that makes it, I guess, somewhat better for your ears, but you should still not really listen to music so high. That's why we have like dB meters on our watches and stuff like that. So higher than 3 or 4 on your device, I think that's kind of too high. Well, when I went and saw this like ear guy, right, that's what he told me. He told me you need to keep it really like underneath, I think it was something like 80 dB, and even that, it was better if you would stay at 60. And that is not that loud. Just like human talking, because we were shooting a lot of content in the woods and trying to figure out how high is the sound level, right? So if you're just walking in the woods, it's approximately maybe 44 dB you're gonna get. Then if you're talking, it's closer to 55. Can go to 60, but I mean that's very high. Then a car, if you're about like 50 feet from a highway or something, it can still be close to 70. Sometimes, like if it's a big truck, it'll go to 75 dB. So these are all like just lots of sounds, right, that we hear all the time. And that is kind of, how to say, you really don't hear that much the sound because we're so used to being surrounded by sound. But when you go for a hike in the mountain, when you're very far away from any type of main route, that's when you realize, wow, it's quiet. Yeah, it's very quiet, like no human sound. Humans make a lot of noises, just by talking, by walking, but also every type of device that you might have. So getting back to musical bands and stuff like that, I said this, Slayer is loud. I think like there was some really loud bands back in the...
AC/DC, the guy lost his ear.
Exactly, AC/DC, the guy lost his earring, right? Yeah. And then who's that other guy? Ace of Spades didn't hear nothing either.
Lemmy.
Yeah, Lemmy or Lenny? What's his name? Lemmy? Yeah. Well, this guy, he wasn't hearing anything. Nice car, madam. Which one is it? This is the Tesla Model X. It's a 2016. Yeah, free electricity forever. And so far, it's been good. We've been good with it. Also, like electric cars, right, don't make that much noise compared to any type of gasoline or diesel vehicle. It's very, very calm. Hey, GGXGGXG. So this is that thing, very, very quiet. An electric car is very quiet, and mine is old, so it's not as quiet as the newer models. Of course, if you go like in a Rolls Royce or something like that, then that's very quiet, and I mean like so quiet. You can't even hear the cars passing by you. It's a bit weird. I know because I've been in one. It was awesome. But yeah, just an electric vehicle in general, you can hear so much different because there's no motor. The motor is electric, right? So you don't hear all of that sound. And so it makes you hear the actual road a lot more in an EV. That's my take. Sniffing Glue says, So what are you guys' favorite loudest bands, you would say? I mean, would you qualify Taylor Swift as a loud band? Probably not, right? I think there's some things that makes music loud. Drum is loud. Any type of synth can be very loud. Then electric, right? Electric guitar.
Blues is not loud.
Blues is not loud. So distortion would be loud?
Yeah, distortion is loud.
Like distortion, saturation, fuzz, all of that stuff would made it loud. No, I haven't tried any Chinese EV. Nope, only Tesla. That's the only one.
There's no Chinese EV here, right?
No, there's
Not yet.
There's in Canada. There's not. Well, we signed a thing that we're supposed to get a little bit more Chinese EV, but I haven't tried any Chinese EV because we don't really have any here in Canada. There's so we have Tesla, of course. Then we have all the normal ones like Mercedes, Hyundai, all of these ones that might have EVs or hybrids. And then we have the Polestar that's here now. We have the Lucid, and yeah, that's Rivian in Canada. But right now I'm in the States. But I mean, I'm not like we're just here for a little bit. Wow, that's a lot of weird stuff on that car. Some people do that, huh? They put a whole bunch of weird stuff on their cars.
Some people put some Twilight stickers.
Some people do put Twilight stickers on their cars. Yeah, I've seen that. So yeah, okay. What's your favorite loudest thing? I think rock bands or like grunge bands, or even if we go emo ska, all of these bands, what they have in common is not just that it's very loud, it's that it's very saturated. So there's a lot of distortion, there's a lot of things that make the sound feel like it's loud, when even if you listen to it very low, it's still kind of, it makes your ears bleed, right? Isn't that the whole thing?
It's just, how many people in the chat have hearing aids?
Oh, how many people in the chat have hearing aids?
Is that a thing, or tinnitus?
Yeah, or tinnitus. I have tinnitus. I mean, a lot of people have tinnitus. I didn't know it was a thing, and then you get older and it's a thing. Then you tell people, and people tell you, yeah, I have that too, and then everybody has that, except for like 4 or 5 people.
Now then, right onto US Highway 101.
Wow. Okay, this is Hoh Rainforest here. So this is actually one of the quietest places right there next to us in all of the United States of America. Yeah, it was measured. So a sound ecologist went there, measured it, and it was less than 20 dB. So that's like very, very not loud. But you have to walk like 3 miles in the woods to get to there, because right now we're on a highway, right? So to really get to the least amount of sound possible, and when I say least amount of sound, I'm talking like no human pollution. So it has to be like no plane, no vehicles, no other humans, nothing like that. And that's very difficult. When I was walking in the woods and all that with my actual, you have that, JJ has that, so he has some hearing problems. I think it's quite normal. Where did you get yours from? Because me, I was listening to Marilyn Manson when I was writing my book. That's when it happened. I thought it was from grinding my teeth, but then the ear doctor said no, that was definitely from hearing music. And I've been so good at like being good at hearing music at very low decibels. Like I never actually put the music like full on and all that stuff, all in my teenage years. I was super prudent, because my mommy, she was like, don't do that, you'll lose your ears. And so I did, and then that 6 months of me listening to music with my AirPods, it wasn't AirPods, it was actually the Google Pixel Pods. Yeah, that's when I lost it. So now I hear the ee all the time. It's just there. It's part of me. He was listening to loud music too. See? How about the servicing stuff for Lucid? Aren't they bankrupt? I don't know. I've seen a few Lucids, and they still have their actual like place where they sell them in downtown Vancouver. I think it's right near the Apple Center. Yeah, so they have it there. I don't know if they went bankrupt, maybe. And I haven't serviced it because I don't have a Lucid, so I don't know. So far I've used Tesla only. At the beginning it was great, I would have to say, the service with Tesla. But now, I mean, I'm not so sure. Just because like the last times I've used it, stop. Just because the last time I've used it, we had an issue and they had to order the piece and it took like 3 weeks. So the guy told us that they were cutting, like everywhere else, cutting on staff and things like that. And so it's very long. You can call them if you have an emergency and they'll book you something, but if you go through the app, usually it's gonna take about, like, 2 to 3 weeks to get an appointment, which is very long, and to get your car fixed. Also, when you get it fixed at a Tesla dealer, then they don't wash it or anything. When I had a Mercedes, and it was a used older Mercedes, you bring it there, you do the checkup and everything, and they wash it and they make it nice. They even give you batteries for your keys. Oh, this is like a big creek. And so the customer experience was amazing at Mercedes. I understand it's Mercedes, but I thought that Tesla would have a little bit more of that, because when you go and buy one, it's amazing. I mean, you can try it. They let you leave with the car. Also, they're really fast to give you another car though. That I like. So if you have a big issue with your vehicle, they will just lend you one, keep it, do whatever you want with it, return it when it's ready. And so that I like, that I always have a vehicle with Tesla. But for the rest, I wouldn't say it's the best service. No. But thanks for asking. Yeah. Okay, so we are going down to Aberdeen, and that should take about like 2 hours. I had no idea. Oh, we had to go there.
What?
Yeah. I had no idea actually that that Kurt Cobain was born there. I thought he was born in Seattle, but I guess no. I guess he was just kind of like the band, since Nirvana got famous, right? They went to the biggest town near, and that would be Seattle. That's kind of the biggest town near here. I haven't been in Aberdeen yet, so we'll see how big it is compared to Forks, because Forks is kind of tiny, like 3,000 residents and all that. Hoh Main Line. And all of these all of these parks and forests, a lot of them are actually still reservations. Yeah. Load restriction. Okay, there was a sign there, but you couldn't read it anymore. I don't know what happened to it. It's burn ban everywhere, so you can't have any type of fire, because Washington is on fire. This place is not, but I mean, it's been sunny, and it's supposed to be the rainiest place. It's been sunny for 3 days. We haven't got any rain the time we've been here, so maybe it's gonna happen. I don't know when we go away, the rain is gonna arrive.
But in the morning it was really cloudy.
Yeah,
almost rainy, but then gone.
Yeah, so every morning it's very cloudy, because what happens in Forks, and that's why it's one of the rainiest places in the United States of America, is it's a bit like Vancouver. So it's sort of a microclimate. What happens is that all of this like evaporation right from the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, comes in, and because there's some mountains a bit further, like I guess rock mountains and stuff like that near Seattle, well, it just kind of collides there, and so all the evaporation and all the clouds, they stay there, they stay trapped, and you can see it in the morning. It's really nice. You're kind of in this fog, but the fog is not on the ground, it's a bit higher, so if you look away, you don't see the mountains. All you see is kind of like this this big, I don't know, white grayish cloud that's there, and that stays there, and slowly the sun peeks in, and then the fog dissipates, and there's no more. But that takes a while. So every morning it's very dark. Yeah, very, very dark. And at night too, like at skyfall, it becomes very dark. It feels Halloween-ish. And also in Forks, the sun is really warm, because it's like, we're August right now. It's really, really warm. We got even a little bit of a suntan yesterday. But the wind the wind is cold. Oh, well, I would say cool to cold. And probably because it comes from the ocean. And so that like carries all of the really cold air. And so you can be outside as soon as there's sun. You're outside in the sun, it's really hot. But if there's a wind draft, then you need to dress up. You can't stay like this. It's too cold. So I was using a lot of layers, and I was just putting my coat on, taking it off, on, off, on, off. Yeah, there's a lot of that at this time of year. And I guess that's also great if you're doing like the hiking and all of these things around Forks, because there's a lot. And there's moss everywhere. So that's the thing with the rainforest, right? Is that, and just like they depicted in Twilight, it's very much like Vancouver too, though, but it's mossy everywhere. This is just moss hanging from the trees on the ground. It looks like mushy, yeah, and just like a whole bunch. And that's really nice. And I'm guessing that that's what also helped damps the sound when you're in Hoh Forest, because, I mean, hey, Swiss Army Dan, thank you very much. Enjoy the journey, not the destination. Agreed. This is a thing you have to do.
It do like sound panel.
Yeah, like the sound panel, right? Like all the foam you use to insulate or like have good acoustics in your studio or office or whatever. Well, I think that's what it's really about. And then the fact that if you go deep in the forest, there's not really any sound pollution from any vehicle because you're too far to pick them up. Then there are planes though, because I've recorded a few planes, but they pass about every 15 minutes, so you can get a clear reading. Sound is very interesting because, okay, so the fact is that when you're in a library, usually the sound is about 40. Let's say that number, like 40 dB. That's the sound in a library. Then the little device that I brought to measure sound everywhere with me for the next Piper Unplugged episode, that one, it goes to 30, but 30 is its minimum. So it doesn't go lower than that. I mean, I got it off of Amazon, and I'm not like a sound ecologist or a person that really measures sound for a living, so I wasn't about to invest maybe like $2,000 in a sound device. But the guy that actually went in and measured that place in Hoh Rainforest, well, I guess he had really good equipment because he was able to measure at 20 dB. That's really low because my device didn't go that low. But I was able to measure at its lowest rating. So we were able to get far enough from any road and to wait between planes to really get that rating. So it is possible to get it. You just have to walk further. Yeah, further away from every civilization, I would say. But the plains. And when you're there in the middle of the forest, right? And you realize just how much like humans make noise and how much there are other noises, like the forest noises, but those are not crazy. I mean, I've heard some recordings of the Amazonian, and that is a bit crazy. That is like the loudest sounds. You hear monkeys, you hear water dripping, like it feels like there's a lot of things to hear, although it's quiet, like it's human deprived. But there's still many sounds going on. Well, that was a bit of the same thing in this forest, but I have to say it wasn't raining. There was a creek at one point that was close by, and so you could hear this water going down. There was a few sounds of wildlife. It was mostly, I think, squirrels and some type of birds. So that was nice. But apart from that, the forest was not very loud. There's nothing really happening, and there wasn't a big wind. So you could hear a little maybe the branch falling off of a tree really high and then coming down, but nothing more than that. So yeah, I really enjoyed the experience of being in the woods and measuring sounds everywhere. You should do that. Like if you have your Apple Watch or any type of watch that can measure sound, because the Apple Watch does it, you don't need a device necessarily. You just click on it and you go somewhere and you measure the sound. Because the Apple Watch will tell you if the sound is too loud. Yeah, to protect your hearing. That's the thing I like. Oh, it seems that we're buffering a little bit. If you guys are just tuning in, thanks for being here. We're talking about sound. Yes, about the quietest place in the United States of America, which is right here where I am, in the Hoh National Forest, which is in the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. And then we're talking about something that's also very, very loud, and that would be Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, because he was born in the next town I'm going into. So I made it from Forks, and now we're going down to Aberdeen, where Kurt Cobain was born. So were you a grunge baby? Like, did you listen to a lot of grunge? Or were you pre-grunge? Because I know, like, being a kid from the 90s, I'm grunge. I like to like clean the house listening to grunge music, or in the afternoon if I take my coffee and I have work to do. That's kind of the playlist I'll go for. Not in the morning though, or not when I'm trying to do something else, because I like the lyrics. So I tend to hear them and listen to them. So I would probably put grunge music a lot when, doing chores or wanting a little pick-me-up to work. That'd be the places I would listen to music. But you have these people sometimes, and I'm not sure I like that. Like, you're at a beach or you're at a park, and then they have their music on, and it's really loud. I understand music. I mean, I like music, but isn't it meant for that, right? The park or the beach isn't meant to listen to other stuff, like not music. Listen to the quietness of the trees and nature, or listen to the waves. That's another thing that I haven't measured yet, but I remember when we were in Hawaii and we took an Airbnb that was right on Makaha Beach. Not on the main beach, but it had a little private beach in Makaha. That was in Oahu, northwest. And it was so loud, like it was difficult to sleep. You know, when you're like, oh yeah, I want to live in a house near the ocean with the waves and everything like that. Well, in reality, I mean, it's very loud. I think I would rather like live in the woods just for the loudness of it, because waves crashing down all the time, every time, is intense. Like really, really intense. At one point you kind of get used to it for sure, but it's still very loud. And if there's like thunderstorms and all that stuff, it's worse. So Lori says noise pollution, light pollution, electromagnetic pollution. I would like to go out far into the Russian steppe or a Siberian forest, or like the beautiful out in the country all night. Oh, so you would like to go far away from all that sound.
The snow damped a lot of the sound, remember?
Yes. Yeah, so snow, that's the thing. The cold and the snow has like the clearest sound, because we've been shooting videos for over 12 years now. And even like, so when we used to shoot in Quebec, it was near Montreal and all that. If we went to the forest, or if we just went on a crisp, sound completely different if you're in the summer, in the fall, in the spring, and in the winter. But really the main difference, like summer versus winter, you can hear it. The way the sound like even transports is intense. So I definitely think that you should try it. You should try it. But just if you have never been in the woods in the actual like winter, it's worth doing. It's worth doing, because it's definitely not the same soundscape. Yeah. Why the woods? Sittlord Billy asks. Well, because again, to get as far off from human civilization, that's one thing. But the guy that actually marked because he measured all of the places, and he ended up with about 12 that were really, really quiet. But that was one of the quietest, and it was nearest to me. So I was thinking about that when we thought about going in the forest, that for sure there's a way that if you would go right in the desert, it's about getting us from people and humans, and that's number one. Then whether it's the forest, the ocean, the desert, I mean, I don't think there's any wrong or right, or like quiet. And we're having issues. Yeah, main issues. Glitchy internet connection. Yeah, thank you guys, no problem. Thanks, Mr. Limebaum. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend going to Russia right now unless you're Russian, but that's just me. You do whatever you want. So, okay, we are getting a little connection errors, but this is because we are in a place here that, yeah, has no LTE, so we're only depending on the Starlink right now. And that also means, well, no cellular, sorry. So no cellular means that one of the things I plugged in the box is not working. That means we're mostly dependent on satellite internet, the Starlink Mini, but there's a lot of trees. So we might get cut from time to time. Well, just keep rolling and we'll do whatever we can for another at least 15 minutes, guys. So we'll see if YouTube really decides to close this loop off. Well, that will be it. If not, we just tough it out. As I was saying, it's not really about the forest. There's many other places that are very quiet. You just need to get away from humans. Because, and that's the interesting part I found, a river is not quiet, or a waterfall is not quiet at all. But it could still be the quietest place if what you're trying to measure is no human sound and no human pollution. Then that means that, well, it doesn't matter if it's loud sounds coming from nature. Olympic Corrections Center? Really?
That's a jail.
That's a jail?
Oh yeah, that's a jail.
Yeah, that's a jail. They have nice weather here for jail. Wow, they put it in the middle of nowhere. Oh, is there a lot of people that commit crimes around here? Like probably the guy that killed his wife and put her at the bottom of the lake, right? Lake Crescent, I think it's called. Was it? Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like super high security.
It's a jail, but it's a real jail.
It's a jail. So don't take hitchhiker on.
Yeah, don't take hitchhikers on this land. No, not a good idea. And then yeah, so that was the whole point. We're gonna try to refresh, see if that helps. Let's see.
Bear right to stay on Hoh Main Line.
Are you getting enough sun for that vitamin D production? No, but even in Canada, we don't get enough sun for vitamin D production. So, well, it is supplemented in our milk, right? So all of our milk, or most of our milk, has supplemented vitamin D. And then, well, I take like my vitamins in the morning, so that helps supplement the whole rest of it. But thanks for asking, said Lord Billy. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of places in the world where not enough vitamin D is a thing. Yeah, so quiet doesn't mean silence, right? It doesn't mean no sound at all. And that's something I found fascinating, because if you want no human sound, it doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to be really silent or really quiet. Like I said, the Amazonian, oh, I think that was the snake.
What?
Well, like a tiny snake on the road. Like maybe like one of these one of these couleuvres. One of these snakes that, I don't know how you call them in English, but they're just like little field snakes. They can bite you, but it hurts a little bit. But they're not like venomous or anything. I don't know, does Washington have snake? Because that was definitely a little snake. That was that for sure. Wow, this is scenic route. No connection, no nothing. YouTube is telling me it's really poor. Okay guys, I think we're gonna end this one off, because it's not working great. But don't worry, there's gonna be more. Thank you all for tuning in, and drop a comment, like tell me. Okay, tell me which is your loudest, favoriteest band ever. And we'll make it to Aberdeen, and we'll try to see if it's all about Kurt Cobain or